So guys, let's go with the two-dimensional arrays now. Single-dimensional arrays is completed. Now let's go to the two-dimensional array now in this session. So as you can clearly see in single-dimensional array, how many square brackets were there in the declaration of the variable? How many square brackets were there in the single-dimensional arrays? Only one was there. Now, if you can clearly see the two-dimensional array, how many square brackets are there? Two square brackets are there. Okay. That's what is the difference in the declaration part. And while creating an object also, here in single dimensional array, how many square brackets are there specifying the size of the array and or how many square brackets were there in single dimensional? Only one is there. But while specifying the size of the two dimensional array, how many sizes you are specifying? How many sizes you are specifying in square brackets? Two square brackets with two sizes you are giving. Two square brackets with two sizes you are giving, right? So in the form of declaration and creation of the two-dimensional array, these are the changes where here you will have two square brackets, here you have single square bracket, here also single square bracket, here two square brackets to specify the sizes also. Okay. So, but if you have to understand properly, what is a two-dimensional array? Two-dimensional means there will be two dimensions. Okay. Two-dimensional array means there will be two dimensions will be there. So if you have to clearly explain, guys, two-dimensional array is nothing but, yeah, Monica, a lot of people will explain you in the form of rows and columns, but I don't want to explain like that. Okay. Monica is saying that rows and columns. Okay. That is the way people will explain you, because a lot of programs we solve right in the form of rows and columns in 2D array will generally do that. But that's not the right way to understand the two-dimensional arrays. Two-dimensional array is nothing but an array of what? Array of what? Two-dimensional array is nothing but an array of single dimensional arrays. Each and every element of the array is again a single dimensional array that will together become what? A two-dimensional array. A lot of people will teach you rows and columns, that's correct only, but ultimately what is a two-dimensional array? Two-dimensional array is nothing but an array of single dimensional arrays. What do I mean? Here, so here I'll do one thing, guys. I'll just save this and create here one more package. I'll just name this package as two-dimensional arrays. Okay, arrays pack I'll say. So two-dimensional array is nothing but an array of single dimensional arrays. I'll create a class here, two-dimensional arrays demo. With main method I'll create. How to declare a two-dimensional array, guys? How to declare a two-dimensional array? Integer. Let's take the int data type for a while. AR is equal to new int of 3, 5 if I give. Okay, 3, 5. What does it mean? This is a two-dimensional array, yes or no? After the data type or after the variable, you can provide the square brackets here. And while creating the object also, using the new keyword, here after the int data type, here you have to give the two square brackets. You have to specify the two sizes. 3 you are specifying, 5 you are specifying. What does it mean? Means in the computer memory, what will happen if you understand? You will get the understanding in a clear way. Let's assume that this is a computer memory. This is a computer memory. In the computer memory, some memory will be reserved, guys. Okay, some memory will be reserved. Like this, some memory will be reserved. Let's say this memory will be reserved for this array. This is array object. Okay, array object memory. Array object memory got reserved. Okay, in the entire computer memory, some memory got allocated from the array object. This two-dimensional array object, some memory got allocated. In that, how many single dimensional arrays are there? Tell me. In this two-dimensional array, how many single dimensional arrays are there? Total, how many single dimensional arrays are there? 3 are there. Okay, as I rightly pointed out here, 3 single dimensional arrays are there. That means this particular memory that got allocated for the two-dimensional array will be divided into how many slots? 3 slots like this. Okay, this memory that got allocated for the two-dimensional array got divided into how many slots? 1, 2, 3. Here everything is a single. This is first single dimensional array, the second single dimensional array. So this is a what? First one is what? This first single dimensional array. Okay. first single dimensional array. This is a first single dimensional array. Here total how many single dimensional arrays are there? 3 are there. This is a second single dimensional array. 2D array is nothing but an array of single dimensional arrays. It's an array of single dimensional array. Second single dimensional array. And last one is a third single dimensional array. Is a third single dimensional array, guys. Okay. And the first single dimensional array, second single dimensional array, third single dimensional array. What will be the index of the first single dimensional array? Tell me, guys. What will be the index of the first single dimensional array? What will be the index? So 0 is the index of the first single dimensional array. Then what is the index of the second single dimensional array? What is the index of the second single dimensional array? 1 will be the index of the second single dimensional array. Then what will be the index of the third single dimensional array? Third single dimensional array. 2 is the index of the third single dimensional array. Now, if you go back here to the declaration, creation of the array part, in every single dimensional array, total 3 single dimensional arrays are there with the index 0, index 1, index 2. In every single dimensional array, how many elements are there? In every single dimensional array, how many elements are there? Total 5 are there. So here, slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5. In the first single dimensional array, how many elements are there? 5 elements are there. In the second single dimensional array, how many elements are there? Again 5 are there. Again 5 are there. Okay. The second single dimensional array also, total 5 slots are there. In the third single dimensional array, again how many elements are there? 5 are there. Okay. 5 elements are there. Okay. So here I'll write down here 0. Here I'll write down 0th index. Okay. In this single dimensional arrays, again elements are having different slots. So index 1, index, I'll just make it outside bit. It's almost coming on. Okay. Here I'll give 0. 0th index. Here I'll give first index. Here I'll give second index. Here I'll give third index. Here I'll give fourth index. 0 to 4. That is 5 elements. 0 to 4. That is 5 elements. Okay. Now here again 0. Sorry. Here 0. Okay. Here again 1. Here 1. 0, 1. Then here 2. Here 2. Just give me a second. It's not going away. Control set. Search. Okay. Fine. Can I erase like this? Yes, I can erase. I'll write down here. This is 2. Okay. Index 2. Then here, index 3. Second single dimensional array also is having the index like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 is there. And third single dimensional array is also having the index 0. Index 1. Index 2. Things doesn't work, just rub it out. So index 2, then index 3, then index 4. Okay. Now, while explaining, a lot of trainers, what they will say is, these are rows, these are columns, they will say. Row is nothing but the first single dimensional array index is the row. This row is nothing but the index of the second single dimensional array. This index 2 row is nothing but the third single dimensional array. What are the columns? Columns are nothing but the elements of the arrays, single dimensional arrays. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are the 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 are the columns. These are the rows, these are the columns they will represent generally. But ultimately, if you have to know the real meaning of two-dimensional array, Two-dimensional array is nothing but what? Array of what? Single dimensional arrays, guys. Okay. A lot of people doesn't know this. It is an array of single dimensional arrays. Everyone type in the chat box. Two-dimensional array is nothing but array of hence proved, right? Already I proved it here. Two-dimensional array is nothing but array of single dimensional arrays. A lot of people directly explain rows and columns and all, but ultimately, yes, two-dimensional array is nothing but array of single dimension. Every element of the array is every element of this main array is a single dimension. You see, this is the first element of the array. It is a single dimensional array. This is the second element of the array. It is a single dimensional array. Third element of the array is also a single dimensional array. Okay. So it's an array of single dimensional array. Simple thing. Fine. How to initialize array elements? AR of 0. Take the first single dimensional array. Okay. First we have to fill up the first elements of the single dimensional array. Okay. First single dimensional array index is 0. Here we have to give what? AR of 0. 0 means what? AR of 0 means what? AR of 0 means first single dimensional array this is. In that first single dimensional arrays, we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 again. Sub elements are there. Okay. AR of 0, 0 means what will happen? 9 I'll say. When I say 9, here 9 will be stored. Here 9 will be stored. Then AR of 0, 1 I have to say. 0, 1. In the first single dimensional array, the second element of the first single dimensional array, okay, we are storing something like 5, let's say. Here 5. AR of 0, 2 if I say, then if I say 7 means here 7 will be stored. Then AR of 0, in the first single dimensional array, in that fourth element, 1, 2, 3, fourth element, that is index 3 element of the first single dimensional array, I'm just storing 1. Here 1 will be stored. Okay. Then AR of 0, 4 I'll say, 0, 4. The last element of the first single dimensional array, AR of 0, 4. Okay. What is that? I'll give some value like 6 here. Okay. 6. So 6 will be stored here. Done. Now, if I want to store the elements into second single dimensional array, the second single dimensional array is having the index as 1, and again 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 will be repeated. AR of 1, 0. Again 1, 0. You see 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4 will come. I'll just make it fast because you are able to understand, I feel. Here I'll give 2 here. AR of 1, 1. I'll give AR of 1, 1. I'll give it as 4 here. Okay. AR of 1, 2 I have to give. Okay. I'll give it here as, let's say 8. Then AR of 1, 3. I'll give it as again 9. Okay. AR of 1, 4. I'll give it as here. I'll give it as let's say 3. Let's say. Okay. Like that, different values I'm giving. So here 2, 4, 8, 9, 3. 2 will be there here. 4 will be there here. Then what is the next one? 8. 8 will be there here. 9 will be there here. And 3 will be there here. 3 will be there here. That's it. Okay. Then in the third single dimensional array, 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4. Okay. Here of 2, 0. I'll give here 1, let's say. Okay. Here of 2, 1. I'll give here, let's say 6. Here of 2, 2. I'll give here as 9. I can repeat the values, no problem. Okay. Here of 2, 3. 2, 3. Here I'll give 4. Here of AR of 2, 4. Here I'll give last element, that is 2 I'll give. Okay. Different elements I'm giving, guys. That's okay. 1, 6, 9, 4, 2. 1, 6, 9, 4, 2. 1, 6, 9, 4, 2. Here 1. Here 6. Here 9. Here 4. Here 2. This is how the two-dimensional array will look like. Okay. This is how we have to declare the two-dimensional array. Here, this is how we have to create a two-dimensional array, object for the two-dimensional array creating object. This is how we have to initialize the two-dimensional array. How many single dimensional arrays are there? First single dimensional array, second single dimensional array, third single dimensional array. Okay. There are 3 single dimensional arrays. In each and every 3 single dimensional array, how many elements are there? 5 elements are there. Second single dimensional 5 elements are there. Third single dimensional array, third single dimensional array, 5 elements are there. Okay, 3 by 5. That's why we have to give 3 as the number of single dimensional arrays, 5 as the each how many elements are there in the individual in single dimensional arrays. Clear? Everyone clear with this? Everyone clear so far? Declaring, creating, and initializing is clear. And let's access it here. Okay. In the traditional way, I'll access here of 0 0, here of 0 0, system.out.println, here of 0 1, 0 1. Okay. I'll just go to the for loops and all later. For now, I'll write like this. Okay. One by one, I'll try to modify here. 0 of 0 2, 0 2. Okay. System.out.println, here of 0 3. System.out.println, here of 0 4. System.out. This is done. I'll just copy this one. Just reduce the time. I'll say 1 0, 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4. Then system.out.println 2 0, 2 0, 2 1, 2 2, 2 3, 2 4. Run this code. Right click run as Java application. You see all the elements of the array got printed. 9571, 6248. Sorry, 5 elements, right? 95716, 95716. After that, 24893, 24893. Then 16942, 16942. Everything got printed properly. Okay, like this. This is a traditional way of declaring the two-dimensional array, then creating the object for the two-dimensional array, initializing the two-dimensional array elements. Okay, and then accessing them. Okay, this is a general way. Now what I'll do is instead of disturbing this one, I'll copy this one and go and paste it here. Okay, I'll say okay, and then what I will do here is in this demo 2, just for different samples, I'll give the shortcut representation, guys. Okay, so instead of writing this many lines, is there any shortcut representation in the two-dimensional array? Do you think? Is there any shortcut representation in a two-dimensional array is possible? Yes, it is possible. So replace this one, provide the square brackets. Inside the square bracket, inside the curly braces, provide the curly braces, put a semicolon here. Here, this is a two-dimensional array. In this two-dimensional array, how many single-dimensional arrays are there? In this two-dimensional array, how many single-dimensional arrays should be there? Total, how many single-dimensional? 3. So if 3 are there, again inside that inner curly braces, 3 you have to provide. Got it? External curly braces, inside that inner curly braces, 3 you have to provide. In the first curly braces, you have to write 9, comma, 5, comma, then 7, comma, then 1, comma, then 6, then 6. This part is done. This is no more required. Done. The second curly brace part, you give the second single dimensional array elements of the two-dimensional array 2, 4, 8, 9, 3. This is no more required. The third single dimensional array of this two-dimensional array, 1, 6, 9, 4, 2. Like that you can create. This is no more required. Done. Okay. This is a shortcut representation of the. Okay. This is a shortcut representation. Shortcut representation. How many lines got reduced? Lot of lines got reduced. Representation. The shortcut representation. Okay. Lot of lines got reduced, guys. Lot of lines got reduced in the shortcut representation. Okay. So instead of writing so many lines, you can write like this. Now, what about this part? Writing this many number of print statements is good or wrong? It's right or wrong? Writing this many number of print statements will work fine. Okay. Even though with shortcut representation is going to work fine, guys. Run this code and see that. You see the same 95716, 24893, 16942. All the elements got printed properly. Okay. This work fine. Okay, but this many print statements is not a correct approach. It's a wrong approach. Even though it works fine, it's a wrong approach. What I'll do is I'll just take a copy of this one. Okay, without disturbing that, I'll take 3 here. So in the 3, I'll modify the stuff. Okay, I'll open the 3 here and modify the stuff here. So instead of writing this many print statements, what I can do is, instead of writing this many print statements, I'll write for int I is equal to 0. Okay, I is equal to 0. I less than how many single dimensional arrays are there? I less than how many single dimensional arrays are there? 3 are there. 3 semicolon I plus plus. Inside the for loop, I'll create one more for loop. Inside this external for loop, which is taking the indexes of the how many single dimensional arrays are there. 0 to 2 means 3 single dimensional arrays. This external for loop will iterate 3 times for 3 single dimensional arrays. In every single dimensional arrays, how many elements are there? In every single dimensional array, how many elements are there? 5 are there. Inside this, I'll write int j is equal to, here already I is used, so I am going with j. Individual elements of every single dimensional array. J is equal to 0. J less than, total how many are there? 5. J less than 5. J plus plus I'll write. J plus plus I'll write. And here I'll write down system.out.println. AR of 2 square brackets I have to provide for accessing. 2 square brackets I have to provide. I'll remove the spaces also. Why to waste the space? Here in the first square bracket, what I have to write? The first square bracket, what I have to write? The first square bracket, what I have to write? I. Yes. The second square bracket, what I have to write? J. That's it. Okay. Instead of writing so many print statements, you can write like this for 2-dimensional array. But initially I will be 0, guys. Initially I will be 0. Here I will 0. 0 less than 3 is 2. We'll go inside this for loop. Now, once you go inside the for loop, again J will become 0. Here J is also 0. J is also 0. 0 less than 5 is 2. Again we'll go inside this inner for loop. AR of I is 0, J is 0. AR of 0, 0 means the first array, first element, that is 9 will be printed. 9 will be printed. Okay, done. Then J plus plus will happen. J will become 1. 1 less than 5. AR of I is still 0, but J is 1. 0, 1 means 5 will be printed. J will become 2. J will become 2 less than 5 is true. AR of 0, 2. AR of 0, 2 means in the first array 0, 1, 2, that is 7. 7 will be printed. Then 3. J will become 3. 3 less than 5. Okay, 0, 3, that is 1 will be printed. J will become 4. 4 less than 5, true again. 0, 4, that is last element, 6 will be printed. Finally, J will become 5. 5 less than 5 is false, will come out of the for loop. Okay, and here external for loop will come to the end. I plus plus will happen, I will become 1 here. 1 less than 3. 1 less than 3, true again, will come inside. Another, again the same for loop, inner for loop will be executed second time. Then J will become again reset to 0 here. 0 less than 5. Like that 0 to 4 it will iterate. 2, 4, 8, 9, 3 will be printed. 2, 4, 8, 9, 3 will be printed. Then J will become 5. J less than 5 will become false and will come out of the for loop. I will become 2 here. 2 less than 3 is true. Again will come. Again J will be reset to 0. Then 2, 0, 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4. Up to that it will go. That means 1, 6, 9. 1, 6, 9, 4, 2 will be printed. When J becomes 5, 5 less than 5 will become false, will come out. And here I will become 3. 3 less than 3 also will become false, will come out of the external for loop also. All the elements of the array will be printed like this. Okay, using this normal for loop, all the elements of the array got printed. 9571 624 95 95716 24893 16942. Okay, 16942 got printed. Clear everyone? How to use a normal for loop, traditional for loop is clear. How to write the traditional for loop is clear. Yes, Sonali, I'll come to that. Just give me a second. I'll come to that in the next example. That's the same thing that I'm going to cover. Now, in the single dimensional array, guys, in the single dimensional array, we have only one size. We have only one size, right? How to find the size of the array in the single AR dot length? But here the things got changed. It's a 2-dimensional array. So in the 2-dimensional array, still to get how many single dimensional arrays are there, we can in place of this 3, we can write AR dot length. AR dot length will give you what? How many single dimensional arrays are there? Here in the case of 2-dimensional array, AR dot length will give you what is the result of the AR dot length. It will give you how many single dimensional arrays are there in this two dimensional array it will give. Then what about this 5? What about this 5? This 5, you cannot write AR dot length here, right? This will be wrong. If you give AR dot length, this will be how many single dimensional are there? Here 3 will come. That is wrong, guys. So what we have to do? We have to give any of the things. AR of I you have to say. AR of I means what? What is AR of I? What is in the first iteration when I was 0 less than 3 will come inside. Here j is equal to 0. 0 less than AR of I is 0. AR of 0 means what? The first side AR of 0 means what? AR of 0 means this one. AR of 1 means this one. AR of 2 means this one. No, that is not right. TP, that is wrong. AR of 0 means what? AR of 0 means this part. 95716 part is AR of 0. AR of 2, AR of 1 means 24893 is AR of 1. AR of 2 means when I value becomes 2, this is the one it is referring to. Now in the first iteration when I was 0 here, I is 0 here, 0 less than 3, and you came here, j is 0 again, 0 less than, AR of I means what? AR of I means AR of 0, AR of 0. AR of 0 means this part, this entire part. It's not 9, it is 95716. In that dot length I'll say. Then what will come? This part dot's length I'll say. What will come, guys? Tell me. 5 will come. Here 5 will come, guys. Okay? You should not say AR dot length here. You have to say AR of I dot length. AR of I dot length. Then j plus plus. Okay? This will iterate. Next iteration when I becomes 1 here, 1 less than 3 is true. Then AR of 1 is this one. What is the size of this? AR of 1 dot length is again 5. J less than 5 will come. Okay? Then in the next iteration when I becomes 2, let's say 2 less than 3 is true. AR of 2 means this one. AR of 2 dot length means how much? 5. 5 will come. Okay? Clear? Everyone is clear now? So here we can use AR for the single dimensional arrays. You have to use AR dot length for finding the individual array sizes of the single dimensional arrays. You have to say AR of I dot length. Okay? All the elements will be printed. Clear, everyone? How to deal with? Yes, Ram. I'll explain you. Ram, you there?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So here AR dot length will give you the size of what? Ram, you have to explain. AR dot length will give you the size of what?
So, like, this 95716, the length of that.
No, that's wrong. AR dot length here that I highlighted here will give you what? The size of what?
Size of this, like, number of like
Number
arrays,
of?
like we mentioned. Arrays we
Number of
mentioned.
arrays. Number of array.
Number of arrays.
Single
How many single dimensional arrays are there here?
3 dimension.
Three.
3.
It's not 3 dimensional. It's 3 single dimensional arrays are there,
Yeah.
right? 1,
Yes.
2, 3 will come here. AR dot length will give you 3, right? But here when I say AR of I dot length means
So
if
each
I is 0, AR of 0 means what? AR
this
of 0
first
means
one,
what?
First
Is
one,
the
like
first
9,
one. 95716 dot length. What is the size will come?
5 will come.
5 will come. That's what I am trying to explain. In the second iteration when I becomes 1, okay, AR of I means what?
Second.
This part, AR of I. AR of 1 means this one. In that again length means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 will come. When I becomes 2 here, AR of 2 dot length. Okay, in the inner for loop we should not say AR dot length. We have to say AR of I dot length. We have to say. Got it?
Yeah, got it, sir. Understood.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. This external for loop is iterating the single dimensional arrays. Internal for loop is iterating the individual elements of the single dimensional arrays. Simple words. Otherwise, because this 2D array is nothing but an array of single dimensional arrays, where we are using 2 for loops because the external for loop is iterating the single dimensional arrays. There are 3 single dimensional arrays it is iterating. The inner for loop is iterating the elements of the individual single dimensional arrays. That's what is the concept all about. Okay. Clear so far, everyone? Clear so far? Everyone clear so far? Great. Now, you may be asking me, the output is coming like this. Are you satisfied with the output? The way the output is printed in the form of in a sequential manner, does it look good? No. Generally, how the people will print the two-dimensional arrays, guys? How the people will print two-dimensional arrays? Tell me. They will print the two-dimensional arrays in the form of rows and columns. I showed you here, right? The form like this kind of format they will print the output. Whenever some people want to print the elements of the two-dimensional array, they have to print they generally print the two-dimensional arrays not in this kind of way that you are seeing here, like 957162489316942. They will not print like that. They have to print in this kind of rows and columns kind of format, a tabular kind of format they will print. This individual element single dimensional array indexes they will call as rows, and individual elements of the single dimensional arrays they will call as columns generally. Okay, they'll print in the form of rows and columns or in the tabular format rather than this way. How to print them in the tabular format? And even this one also, this initialization part is there, right? Do you feel that it is there in the tabular format? This initializing thing is there in the tabular format. And do you see this output is also there in the tabular format? No, right? It's not there. I'm going to do that in the next example. I'll just copy paste this one, Control V, and just copy pasting the file so that a new version. So I don't want to disturb the old version. You can refer to all these examples. That is the reason I'm copy pasting. So here, what I will do is just press here, press enter here, just press enter here, just press enter here, just press enter here. Now, can you see the tabular format? Can you see the tabular format? Like this, people will represent it. Okay, this is the tabular format that the people will represent generally, and also they can take it inside if you want. Okay, like this. Now you can clearly see the first single dimensional array, second single dimensional array, third single row 1, row 2, row 3, row 1, row 2, row 3, and column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5. Okay, like that you can see. So initialization also can be represented in a tabular format. Then how to get the output? Still output will come in a normal format only, even though the initialization is also done in a tabular format, but the output is coming in not in a tabular format. How to make the output come in a tabular format is the question. How to make this output come in a tabular format? For that, we have to do some modifications to the code. Okay, for that we have to do some modifications to the code. That is, first of all, here instead of println, I'll write print only. What is the first change, guys? What did I do? In the line 15, I made the println statement inside the inner for loop. There is a print statement, println statement. I converted to what? I converted to what, guys? Instead of println, we have to make it to print. Instead of println here, we have to make it to print. Everyone type in the chat box. Step 1, print. Println convert to print. Step 1, you have to remember this, guys. This will be very useful for you. Step 1, convert println to print. Convert println to print. Everyone type in the chat box. Step 1, hyphen. Println converted to print. Println converted to print. Type in the chat box, guys. You will remember properly if you understand this way, right? Whatever I'm trying, very actively you will understand. Convert step 1 println to print. Yes. Step 1 println to print. Step 1 is convert println to print. Right. You are right. You are writing that in the chat box in a proper way. Okay. Now, if I convert the println to print and print it, you will face a different problem. You will face a different problem. You are getting like a mobile number, right? 9571624893169. All the elements are coming. 957562489316942. Everything is coming in a single line. This is a problem. So I want to give some gaps. How to give the gaps, guys? In between 9 and 5, I want to give a gap. In between 5 and 7, I want to give a gap. How to give the gaps? Anyone have an idea? Here in the print statement, after printing this, it will not go to the new line because println will go to the new line. So every time after 9, 5 was going to new line, 7 was going to new line, but this time it's not going to new line. Every element is printed in the same line, but after every element I want a space. So what I will do here is, after this every element, I'll concatenate with the space here. String literal space. Okay. AR of ij plus space. It will print in the same line only, but every element afterwards, it will come as space. This time what will happen? The output will come like this: 9 space, 5 space, 7 space, 1 space, 6 space, 2 space, 4 space, 8 space, 9 space, 3 space, 1 space, 6 space, 9 space, 4 space, 2 will come. Okay, earlier it was coming without spaces, right? This time it will come with spaces. That's the second step. We have to add spaces. What is the second step, guys? We have to add the spaces. First step is convert println to print. Second step is add the spaces in between the elements. Add the spaces after printing every element in the same line. Give a gap, okay, by printing the space. Clear, everyone? The second step, adding space is the second step. 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 Everyone clear so far? Everyone clear with this adding of spaces? Yes. Now the third thing is, now what I want is, after 9 space, 5 space, 7 space, 1 space, 6 space, right? I want to go to the new line. After this 6 got printed, I want to go to the new line. When this 6 will be completed, when this up to 6 will be printed, the inner for loop should be completed. Inner for loop, in the first iteration, inner for loop should be completed, right? The inner for loop will be completed after 6. So after the inner for loop, this particular in the first iteration when I was 0, the inner for loop will air of 0 of length will print from 9 to 6. Okay, 9 space, 5 space, 7 space, 1 space, 6. At the end of the inner for loop, the control will go to I++. Before the control go to the I++ here, I'll add a print statement here. System.out.println. Without anything, without any value, print ln I'll say. ln will take you to the new line. After 6 got printed here, after 9, 5, 7, 1, 6 got printed by the inner for loop, before the I becomes 1, we'll go to the new line by using the print statement, print ln statement. Okay, here we have to, in the external for loop, we have to add the print ln statement, empty print ln statement we have to add. This will take you to the new line. After printing 9, 5, 7, 1, 6, this will take you to the new line and I will become 1. And again, when I becomes 1, this inner for loop will again iterate from 2, 4, 8, 9, 3 till here it will iterate and print all the 5 elements with spaces. And after this inner for loop is completed, again it will go to the new line. After it goes to new line, okay, after this particular thing will be printed in the new line. After this got printed, I will become 2 less than 3, and air of 2 dot length, that is 5. This inner for loop will iterate 5 times. Then 16942 will be printed in the, okay, the third line. Okay, and once the limits will reach, will come out of the for loops. Run this code and see that whether we are getting the 2D array elements, access 2D array elements are getting printed in the array format, I mean tabular format, yes or no? The people will write the code like this, guys. You should not get confused. Okay, this is the way we have to write. 3 steps we have to follow. First, we have to convert the inner for loop print statement to print ln to print, and add the second step is add the space here at the end of every element printed of the single dimensional array. We have to add a space at the end of the element. And third thing is that after every inner for loop is executed, before going to the next inner for loop, we have to write a print ln statement to go to the new line. So this kind of output will come for you in that case. Everyone clear? Just type C in the chat box if it is clear for you. Just type C in the chat box if it is clear for you. Great. Okay. Now we'll move to the next one. That is, here which for loop I have used? Normal for loop or for each loop? Enhanced for loop I have used, or for each normal for loop I have used? In this example, I have used normal for loop or enhanced for loop. Which one we have to generally choose? Which one we have to use with arrays generally when you get a chance? Normal we have to choose, or enhanced for loop we have to choose generally with arrays. For each loop we have to choose. So I'm going to show you how to use for each loop to overcome this problem. Okay. Control C, Control V. 6th example is coming here. Here I'm going to convert normal for loop in this code into the, okay, in this code I'm going to convert the normal for loop into the for each loop. The external for each for loop and internal for loop, how I'm going to convert, you just see here. For, you write for here, and internally also one more for you write. That's okay. Now coming to the external one, you see in the 2-dimensional arrays, how many single dimensional arrays are there? In the 2-dimensional array, how many single dimensional arrays are there? Total 3 are there. If I pick any of the single dimensional arrays individually, for example, this single dimensional array, if I take, what is the data type of this single dimensional array? What is the data type of this entire single dimensional array? Integer array. Right, correct. Monica, you are right. It's not int, guys. It's not int. That's right. Not Ram, you are wrong. TP, you are wrong. Monica is right. There are three elements. There are three single dimensional arrays. In this two dimensional array, how many single dimensional arrays are there? Three are there. If I pick one of them, what is the data type of this? What is the data type of this particular individual single dimensional array? It is int or integer array. It's int or up to here. Tell me, guys. It is int. If I take this 8 means it is int. Your answer is right. But if I take this entire thing as an element, it is not integer. It is not integer TP. Okay, it's not int or integer TP and Ram. It's wrong. Monica, whatever Monica and Manju has written is right. Tell me, guys, now what is the data type of this part? This highlighted part. If I only highlight 8 means int. If I highlight this entire thing, this entire single dimensional array, if I highlight, it is not int. It's not int. It is integer array. Everyone type in the chat box. The data type of the single dimensional arrays in the two dimensional array is what? Integer array. Int followed by square bracket. Int is followed by square bracket. You have to write like this. I'll type in the chat box. You have to write like this. Like this 7-1 I type. I typed in the chat box, guys. You can see. The way you have to type is integer array. It is a single dimensional integer array. Everyone type in the chat box like this. Integer array. Don't worry about wrapper classes now. It's not a wrapper. Don't worry about wrapper classes now. I'll explain that later. Int array. Wrapper classes is different, completely different. Okay. Wrapper classes is completely different. You have to type like this. Yes. Now everyone is typing right. Okay. Integer array. So here in the external for loop, what I have to write? Integer array. Integer array. Okay. I'll say yes, colon, single dimensional array. Let's say every single dimensional integer array, colon, AR. Yes, S stands for single dimensional array. Let's assume that. For each and every single dimensional array, AR. How many single dimensional arrays are there in this two dimensional array AR? 3 are there. Okay. So one by one, it will assign to the yes. After doing that, in the inner, for each and every single dimensional array assigned to this S, for each and every single dimensional array assigned to S, for example, this particular single dimensional array is assigned to this S, let's assume. In that, if I go with the single dimensional array, in this individual elements, if I pick any element like 8, if I pick, what is the data type of this 8? What is the data type of this 8 now? Int type. This time int is correct. Int, each and every element of this single dimensional array is an int type. So I'll just give E here for representation. And here I have to give what? After colon, what I have to give? After colon, what? Yes, I have to give. I have to give yes. Now write down system.out.println E. That's it. This is the code for two-dimensional array. Remove this. Which one is simple, guys? Which one is simple? Normal for loops are simple or for each loops are simple? This is simple. What will happen here? External for loop will run AR. How many single dimensional arrays are there? Tell me. How many single dimensional arrays are there? Tell me in the AR. Total 3. In that, what is the first one? This is the first one. 95716 is the first one. This 95716 will be assigned to S. Can I assign this single dimensional array to the integer array S type? Can I assign that? Yes, right? This will store into this S because this S is declared with integer array. So this entire 95716 can be stored into the yes. After that, we'll go into the inner for loop. We'll go inside this for loop, and here S is nothing but 95716. In this 95716, okay, what is the first element in the 95716? What is the first element? 9. That 9 will be assigned to E and 9 will be printed. After that, in the S, the remaining elements 5716. 5 is the first one. 5 will be assigned. 5 will go into the inner for loop and 5 will be printed. Then remaining element 716. In that 7 will be assigned. We'll go inside this inner for loop. 7 will be printed. 7 will be printed. This is the comments. Okay. Then remaining elements 1, 6 are there. So 1 will be assigned. 1 will be printed. Then in this remaining element 6 will be assigned and 6 will be printed. Any other elements left out in the single dimensional array here? No elements. So no elements will be assigned, will come out to the inner for loop. Again, the control will go to AR here. In the AR, already this has been assigned to the S. The remaining two single dimensional arrays are these two elements. In that first one is 2, 4, 8, 9, 3 will be assigned to S and will go inside this. And here S will be 2, 4, 8, 9, 3. This time in the S, 2 will be these elements. First element 2 will be assigned, so 2 will be printed. The remaining elements again is 4, 8, 9, 3. Like that, they will be iterated and printed. 4, 8, 9, and 3. Okay. And once that inner elements are completed, again AR, how many elements are left out? A single element, only one. The last one will be assigned to S, and here S will assign individual elements one by one. 1, 6, 9, 4, 2, 1, 6, 9, 4, 2 will be accessed and printed. And after that, will come out to the inner for loop and AR. No more arrays are left out here. So this also will come out. Okay, like that, using the for each loop also, we can do that. But again, we have to get the tabular format here. How to get the tabular format? I'll copy this. I'll copy this and paste it here and show you the tabular format. Say one example. I'll open this tabular format. I will show you in this. How to get the here print ln I have to change it to what? In the inner for loop, print ln I have to change it to what? Print ln I have to change it to print. Print ln I have to change it to print. Second step is append that with space. After the inner for loop, I have to add what? Print statement. System.out.print. Print ln statement I have to add. That's it. Same code, same logic. Just run this code, you'll get the same output. Using the for each loop also, you are getting the same output. So everyone clear with the? Everyone clear with this? Everyone clear with the two-dimensional arrays now? Everyone clear with the two-dimensional arrays?
I think
Yes.
I missed it. I lost somewhere. The second dimensional array means the array inside the array, right?
This one?
No. Here, like it's a second dimensional array, but we
two-dimensional array.
Two-dimensional array.
Two-dimensional array.
Yeah.
This is two-dimensional array.
So we are putting the array inside the array. That means, right?
Yes. This is
Okay.
external array. Inside that, single dimensional arrays are there. Three
Okay.
single dimensional arrays are there. Okay. We are using the external for loop to iterate through the single dimensional arrays, and the inner for loop for iterating through each and every element of the single dimensional arrays. Okay. That's how we are writing the code. Is that clear, Manju? Or any doubts still?
Is still some confusion.
What is
what
the
I
confusion?
mean is like these, if you are declaring like two-dimensional array means like not separate one inside one dimensional single dimensional array, we are adding inside that another one is inside that single dimensional array, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Two-dimensional array is nothing but a array of single dimensional arrays. Simple. It's
Okay,
an
got
array
it.
of single dimensional arrays. Okay. Clear now?
Got it. Yes, thank you.
It's an array of 2D array is nothing but an array of single dimensional arrays. Each
Yeah,
and every
those are not two
each and every
single
element of the
dimensional.
2D
It's
array is nothing but
inside
a
the
single dimensional.
Okay,
Simple.
got it.
Other words. Okay. Clear now, Manju? Any other questions?
Clear.
Okay, great. Anyone else have any other questions here? Anyone else have any other questions here? Anyone else have any other questions here? No. Great. So now the miscellaneous topic is there. Okay. With this, we can complete the arrays, guys. It will not take more time. Maybe 5 to 10 more minutes it will take. Okay. So few people are already asking like, what about different data types and all? Okay. I'm going to cover here. Okay. I'm going to cover here. Or I can cover this tomorrow also. There's a possibility that I can cover this tomorrow also. Arrays, and because I need to cover a topic like wrapper classes along with that. And then what is the next one? String handling I can cover. Remaining topic, string handling and arrays I can cover together. Okay. This remaining topic of the arrays I'll cover tomorrow. And along with the wrapper class I'll cover. These two topics are connected, guys. So I can cover that tomorrow. Wrapper classes and primitive data types and this one. And along with that, I'll cover the string handling mechanism tomorrow. Okay. That's what I will do tomorrow. Wrapper classes and remaining So for today, this much is enough. For today, this much is enough. Let's take this tomorrow, guys. Okay, why to, anyhow, I'm just categorizing the stuff properly. And the next day, the third day, I'll cover the exception handling for you. Okay, that will be also a very detailed session. Exception handling mechanism. The third day I'll cover. Okay. So this remaining part of how to create the arrays with the different data types. Okay, and all this can we store multiple can we store values of different data types into a single array? All these questions will be covered to you tomorrow. Okay, and what are the disadvantages of the arrays? What is the solution? Okay, I will also be covered tomorrow, and also I'll cover about the wrapper classes. While explaining about different data types that we can store into the arrays, I'll also cover the wrapper classes together. And after that, we'll go with the string handling mechanism tomorrow. And for tomorrow, these two topics will be enough. And day after tomorrow, we'll start with exception handling mechanism. Okay. Day after tomorrow, exception handling mechanism. Today is Monday. Tuesday will be this one. Okay. Remaining portion of the arrays, wrapper classes, and string handling mechanism. Okay. And Wednesday will be exception handling mechanism. Exception handling mechanism will be covered on Wednesday, and that will take time. Definitely, exception handling will take time on Wednesday. And Thursday will be file handling mechanism, and Thursday will be file handling mechanism, and Friday will be collections framework. Friday will be the collections framework. That's what is my plan for upcoming days. Is that okay, guys? Is that okay? Is that fine? Shall I? Better I'll cover this tomorrow. Okay. Otherwise, already it's late, right? So I'll cover this tomorrow. So try to refer to today's recordings and all. I'll upload the recording. There will be 2 recordings uploaded. I recorded this as 2 topics. For single dimensional array, I recorded separately. For 2-dimensional array, I recorded separately today. You will get to. I'll upload them these videos as 2 videos. Okay. Tomorrow I'll cover the miscellaneous topics like this one and wrapper classes, and followed by the string handling mechanism as 2 sessions again. Okay, that's the plan for tomorrow. So if everyone is fine and you don't have anything, we can wind up for today, guys. And if you have any questions, you can ask me still. If you don't have any questions, just type no in the chat box so that we can wind it for today.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, I have a question, sir. What is the difference between methodology and framework?
What is the difference between
Methodology and framework.
Okay. Okay, in what context you are asking me this methodology?
Sir, in Agile is a methodology.
Okay.
And Scrum is a framework. TestNG is a framework. So in that case.
No, not like that. Okay, in that context you are asking me. You see, there are different SDLC models, right? We have different SDLC models like waterfall, okay, or RAD.
Okay.
We have like a spiral model, like many V model. These are all SDLC models. In that SDLC model, one of the SDLC model is Agile SDLC model. Okay. In that one of the SDLC model that we can follow, software development lifecycle model that we can follow for a project is Agile SDLC model. In Agile SDLC model, we have different methodologies. We can also call these methodologies as frameworks also. Both are same. We can either call this Scrum as a methodology or Scrum as a framework. Got it?
Sir, no, sir. Actually, what is the basic difference between? How can I differentiate between methodology and a framework? So
both are same. Both are same. There is no difference. That is a terminology only.
Okay.
You see, Agile is the SDLC model. Under Agile SDLC model, we have different methodologies like Scrum, Kanban. Okay.
Yeah.
Like we have the different, different methodologies are there. We can also call them as frameworks.
So if interviewer asks this question, so I mean, how will I answer this question?
Same way that the way I answered you, right? The same way I have to answer. I'll just take you through my notes once. Okay. Agile testing complete guide. Let's see whether any information is there here. I have already noted down. You see, Agile methodologies are Scrum, Extreme Programming, Kanban, Lean, Crystal, DSDM, FDDD. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here practices are different. If you are asking about practices, I would have told you these particular methodologies can use a mix of practices like test-driven development, BDD, ATTD. These are the practices. Okay. But the frameworks are generally, called as methodologies only, as per my knowledge. So let's figure it out with ChatGPT. Okay. If you are not still sure, I'll just clear your doubts. Okay. What are the different SDLC models? SDLC models we have. Okay. If we ask these questions. Okay. Let's see. It will give the different SDLC models like Agile and Waterfall model. Then, okay, it's giving all the phase V model. V model is another SDLC model we have. Then we have iterative model. Spiral model is there. Okay. Then Agile model is there. Agile SDLC model. Scrum is not a model. It's giving a wrong
Scrum
answer
is a
here.
part of Agile.
You see, a subset of it is saying, okay, it's
Yeah,
giving
yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
lot of things. Okay. So it's kind of confusing us anyhow. So let's okay, it's not a proper way, but that's okay, and you understood what is SDLC model now. In agile SDLC model, what are the different methodologies available? Okay.
Okay.
In agile SDLC model, what are the different methodologies available? Now it will give you the proper things. Scrum is one. Kanban, extreme programming, lean software development. Like that, many are there. Methodologies are there. Okay. Crystal.
Okay.
These are the methodologies we have. Okay. Let's ask it the same question. Let's see whether ChatGPT will be able to give the answer or not. Many methodologies will come like this. You see, 7 to 7, 8. It's giving us. Okay. Now, what are the different frameworks in Agile SDLC model? Okay, let's ask like this. Again, the same thing is coming, right? Scrum, Kanban. Now you understood? Both are same.
So Agile
Terminology
is if Agile is a set, then Scrum is a subset of it.
No,
So
simply Agile is an SDLC model. The
okay.
Scrum, Kanban, Crystal, all these are the either we can call them as methodologies or some people will call them as frameworks.
Framework, yeah.
Both the terminology wise, some people call them as methodologies, some people terminologies wise. The only difference is terminology wise calling, but both are same.
Okay. Okay.
Got it? Now
Okay.
clear, na?
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Any other questions, guys? Guys, any other questions? If you don't have any questions, just type no in the chat box, guys. If you have any questions, you can ask me still. I'll explain about the software testing concepts later. We have not started it. Okay, since the question has come randomly, I covered it here. Okay, but in the coming days, once our Selenium automation thing is completed, right? So tomorrow session will be on this one, the pending topic of array, wrapper classes, and string handling. Okay, pending of arrays, wrapper classes, and string handling mechanism. This is a tomorrow's topic, VS. Okay. Tomorrow's topic will be pending topic of arrays, wrapper classes, and string handling. You can also consider it as object class also. I'll cover tomorrow. There is a class known as object class. When I explain wrapper classes, I'll also explain wrapper classes. And with the explanation of the wrapper class and object class, I'll cover the pending topics of this arrays. And after that, we'll go to the string handling mechanism for tomorrow. Clear, VS? Srinivas, clear? Yeah, great. Fine then. So guys, that's all for today. Let's meet tomorrow at the same time at 8 p.m. IST and try to complete the remaining topic. So by this weekend, we'll complete the Java, guys. By this weekend, we'll complete the core Java remaining part and we'll go to the advanced part of Java from the next weekend onwards. Okay. From 17th onwards, we'll go with the Selenium advanced concepts. After the Selenium advanced concepts, we'll move to the framework concepts. After the framework concepts are done, we'll go with the frameworks. After the frameworks are done, we'll go for the live project, Git, GitHub, Jenkins. Okay. Once that is done, we'll go to the manual testing part. This is a topic list. Okay. The upcoming topic list is something like that. Core Java topics should be complete. Remaining core Java topics should be completed. Then we'll go for advanced Selenium Java topics. After advanced Selenium Java topics are completed, we'll go with the framework concepts. After the framework concepts are completed, we'll go with the frameworks, different type of frameworks. Then after frameworks are completed, then we'll go with the Git, GitHub, Jenkins, and some sample scenarios, sample automation scripts. Okay, some sample automation scripts. Jenkins, this is CI/CD. This is Git, GitHub, Jenkins is CI/CD. We can simply call this. We can call as CI/CD with some sample automation code. And after this is completed, we'll go with the manual test. This is the pipe. This is what we are going manual testing. Sessions will start after the Git, GitHub, Jenkins. This is a path case. This is our planning. Okay, this is our planning. This will take 1 week. This will take again 1 or 2 weeks. This too will take 1 or 2 weeks, most probably. This will not take that much time. This will take 2 weeks. This will, okay. So almost a month is there. Month of time is there. Okay, month of time means almost 20 sessions. And this will take 10 sessions. Okay, 30 sessions. 20 to 30 sessions, guys. Okay, these are like 20 to 30 sessions we are going to take next. Okay. Multi-threading is a Java concept that is not required for Selenium automation. I'll cover that in the advanced topics of Java. Once we complete our 50-day program, I'll cover that. Multi-thread means simple. At a high level, if you want me cover, I'll cover. In a simple program, multiple logics will run parallelly. Multiple threads will run parallelly. Each thread will do something different. Okay, this is called as multi-threading. Selenium topics will be resumed in the next week. VS. Okay. Srinivas, Selenium topics will be resumed in the next week. That is from 17th onwards, they will be resumed. Fine. Till 14th, remaining Java concepts will be covered to you. From 17th, Selenium advanced topics will be there. I'll try to cover them Selenium advanced topics by the end of the 21st. If not possible, I may take 1 or 2 days extra. Okay, because they will be kind of like that. Okay, otherwise I cannot explain. So we'll go with the remaining advanced Selenium concepts. After that, we'll go with the framework concepts like TestNG, Cucumber BDD, properties files, POI API. Okay, all the framework concepts I'll cover next. Fine. That's what is the plan. All the framework concepts will be covered next. Then POI API, then we have extend reports. Okay, many things are there, guys. Log4j, like that, many concepts. The framework concepts will be completed. After the framework concepts, we'll build the framework from scratch. Once we build the framework from scratch, one or two or three frameworks will take and build from scratch. And after that, we go with the CI/CD pipeline. This will take 1 day mostly. 1 day will complete. Okay, 1 day will complete. Then we'll go with the manual testing, which will take 10 days. 10 working days it will take. Manual testing will take 10 working days. Okay, to complete. That's the plan. After that, we'll move on to the additional topics. Additional means extra, whatever I told you, right? API or whatever it is. Okay. So live automation, end-to-end live automation, all these things will be coming after our 50-day sessions. After our 50-day sessions, 50 working day sessions, we'll go with that. That's the plan. Clear, everyone? Okay, then. That's all for today. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time where we'll continue with the remaining topics. Okay. Bye, everyone. See you.